au kutelekezwa. UFAA kwa ushirikiano na Cape Media inafanya misafara ya kuhamasisha wakazi wa Homa Bay ili kufuatilia pesa au mali iliyosahaulika. Hebu sasa tusikilize ni kipi ambacho kinaendelea kwa sasa.
As part of the work that we do to reunify these assets that we hold under unclaimed financial assets, one thing about our clientele is a lack of information. And then secondly is in the rural areas that they are not able to access. Largely in terms of the coverage with the internet, quite a number of institutions or regions within Kenya have been covered. But then we purposely come in here to tell people and to tell Mwananchi about the services that we offer as unclaimed financial assets. Sometimes it turns to be a bit expensive to come to one office in Nairobi. And out of this, then we've looked at other ways of how to partner and services closer to Mwananchi. And one of them is through Ngaos. Ngaos have very good infrastructure that will be able to identify these people. Whether they are still alive or they've passed on, they have the systems that you can easily access them. So that's why we've come here as part of our job to come and establish and find out the people who can be assisted to get their funds back to the rightful owners. In addition, we also have partnered with the Huduma centers. So as part of this exercise, as we are working with the Ngaos, at the same time, we've brought these services closer to people. They can go to any of the Huduma center to be served. Thank you.
So how can families in Homa Bay claim assets of their deceased relatives, especially if the documentation is missing?
We'll be able to assist in case the documentations are still missing. The ecosystem of application process for payment to the beneficiaries is a process, because you need to go through the court processes, finalize, and then the final grants to be offered. So we'll be assisting, and part of the things that we are going to do next week from 23rd to 27th is to have all these people within the beneficiary ecosystem so that they can be able to educate the people. Because what we find out is a number of families have not gone through and finalized the succession process for their loved ones who have already passed. So next week, and as we always do it, is we'll be inviting, and in this invitation we'll have quite a number of the institutions that are able to assist in terms of educating members of the public to ensure that their processes for the succession are complete.
Okay, so some Kenyans feel that the claiming process is long. So what improvements have been made to make it faster and more simple?
We've made the processes simpler. One of them is, of course, bringing the services closer to the people so that it becomes easy for you to process. Secondly, we have other channels, including M-Pesa, and the mobile money transfer that we are able to pay. So it shortens that particular process. Also, in terms of the staff capacity to process the documentation, that process also have been streamlined to ensure that the payment is made within the shortest time possible. But that said, there is also a process that is required, because the Act and the regulations requires a certain format that we need to do in terms of the documentation. So within the same process is how to fast track that process, and we promise that within the 21 days, which is fairly a very short time, to ensure that these funds are paid to the rightful owner.
Na mtazamaji, ni taarifa ambayo tunazidi kufuatilia kwa kina zaidi.